Today is the first day, today is the last day of the first of my life. And tomorrow is going to be the first day of the rest of my life.
Let me drive, let me get behind your wheel.
61 years I've made my way. All that comes to an end today. Tomorrow starts a whole new dream, a new start, a new scheme. Sell it all and hit the road, and buy an RV and forget the toad. I'll motor around and see what I'll see, and I'll hook up a moped and I'll ride like I'm free. That happens to me a lot. I don't really plan it to happen. It just thoughts come into my head, and they come out as poems. It's not something I do, I don't aim to do it. It just kind of happens. I have a thought pops into my head, and out comes some kind of verse or such. It's July 31st, 2020. I'm in the state of Maine in my front yard in what's left of my vehicle, and next to what's left of the vehicle I had before that, thinking about the next step, which of course tomorrow is, and part of that step is getting rid of junk like that old junker car right there. This van behind me, it's actually a year older than that van beside me, but it's in slightly better shape, but it too is going to have to go. On the other side of the camera are a couple of really tall pine trees, and the house I own, which I'm not going to show you at this point because it looks like hell. I haven't taken the garbage out in months, so there are bags of garbage over there that aren't good. I haven't mowed the lawn because, well, there's a couple of reasons. One, the lawnmower is broken, which doesn't help. But also, all the weeds and stuff and the little flowers, the insects really like that. And, we've only been cutting lawn for, 110, 20 years or so. And even people like myself, average Joes, we didn't cut lawn until after World War II. So yeah, cutting a lawn. Well, it's just one of the many things that I don't want to have to do anymore. I'm in Maine. I own a snowblower. If you live in Maine, you own multiple pieces of snow handling equipment, and that is, again, one of the things that will be going bye-bye. Hey, do you like the shirt? I can put on a nice shirt for you guys. Of course, this is the first video. I don't know when I'll get to editing it or when I'm going to get to putting it out. I suspect that it'll be sometime a month or two down the road. Because I'm really not sure how I'm going to document this, but I will document it. I already have a YouTube channel. Actually, I have two YouTube channels. One for the music that I've created and recorded over the last 10 years. And another channel in which I just I go over a certain particular video game that I have played a lot of. It's only me here, so I don't need a mask. I shouldn't say that. It's not just me here. Daisy, come. Come here. Because I also have, I don't know if she get into camera. This is Daisy. Daisy, hello. Daisy is a 10-year-old long-haired German Shepherd. Very friendly. Hates other dogs. Loves all other people. So, Daisy, come over here. Come over here for a second. And then, can you come up here? No? Okay. I don't know if you can see her or not, but there she is. About 90 pounds, a long-haired German Shepherd. She's my governor. And what that means is that, hi. Yeah. Because she is 10 years old, I mean, it's going to moderate what I do, where I go, and how I do that. And for the first year or so, I'm getting ahead of myself. You don't know. Okay. Um, Hi, my name's Jason, and wait for the cycle to go by. Not sure how loud the background noise is. I live near a not so busy road. Um, uh, yeah. Hi, my name's Jason, and I'm a nomad. But I have a home base. Um, there's things about each of us that we discover about ourselves if we're lucky or if we're fortunate. Um, as we make our way down the path of each of our own lives, we discover things about ourselves or not. There's people that they're not very intuitive about who they are and what makes them up. I've learned over the past 10 years that my general gregarious nature is something that I developed as a youth in order to survive. My outgoing nature and my "hey, Jason's always so happy" thing is mostly about me trying to get acceptance from other people. And that's, well, it's a personality fault, but it's also something that I think that if you have this level of insecurity, it controls everything you do, up to the point where you start to recognize what it is and what it does. Um, what's really odd about that is that people that might know me might say, "Well, you're just so gregarious and a people person." It says, "Yes, but you know what? I would rather be alone than with a group of people." Um, listen how quiet that is. There's a mourning dove back there. There's the forest birds over there. I can hear Daisy panting over there. It's about, I think it's high 70s, low 80s today. It's been 80s and 90s for the past couple of weeks. It's brutally hot. This is to keep me organized because I am ADD, ADHD, and even some Asperger's. So oftentimes I need something to keep me a little bit more focused. But that's also part of why I'm doing this. I am, that I want to live. I want to live more simply, and I want to live a little closer to existence. The house I'm living in is way too much. I don't. I get looking around at all the stuff around me and how much of this stuff do I actually need, and it's a theme you've heard repeated over and over again. I already said, why do people mow lawns? God, keeping up with the Joneses. That thump, 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 thump. I live right next to an overlook. I'll show you that someday. That looks out over a section of coastal Maine, next to my little 3.5 acres here. So over the past month, I've been doing a lot of research. I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of looking. I've spent hours watching others' YouTube videos, reading forums, suggestions, looking at everything to do with an RV and what it will take to own one, purchase one, maintain one. Do I want a gas or a diesel, and the size of generator and the length and the bunks and the style and who made it, and is it a Chevy or a Ford? Is it a V8? Is it a V10? It'll be interesting to see how loud that motorcycle comes in. The more I've researched it, the more I'm just convinced that this is the path for me, which is to just get rid of everything. If it won't fit in the RV, it's getting sold or given away or thrown away. Like I said, it's July 31st. It's now the last day of July. Tomorrow, August 1st, is the first day. And the goal is to be out of here by December 1st, maybe mid-December at the latest. You can get out of Maine in the winter fairly easy, but there's just there's a few hurdles between now and then, one of which is listing and selling the house, of course, cleaning all that out. Then I've got to find the RV. And how do I then move into the RV if I need to sell the house in order to buy the RV? How do I move into a cube, have that shipped to where the RV is? Do I put it in the closing that, we close and then 2 weeks later they can move in, and it gives me 2 weeks to run somewhere and grab the RV and drive it back here, pack it up, and get the hell out? You know, yeah, so a lot to do between now and then. And, I have thought this out very well. I've considered all the points of warning about this decision. I've watched Bob's videos, I've watched Carolyn's videos, I've watched several other videos on why you shouldn't do this lifestyle. And nothing I've seen has scared me so far. In the past 15 years, I've taken several multi-week motorcycle trips where everything I needed to have to survive that 3 weeks was with me on the motorcycle. Tent, sleeping bag, food, tools, spare parts, camera gear, laptop, a chair, anything you could possibly think of to make your travels on a motorcycle more comfortable. And by God, that is a packing challenge. So where I have noted that people have had real challenges in how to pack and get stuff in their RV, I don't think I'm going to have that challenge. There will be some hard decisions on things that have to go. Some of those things are an album collection that I've had for, pushing 50 years. But they're heavy, and I can digitize them between now and then, put them on an MP3 player, have backups on hard drives, and I can still have all that music with me. Owning that vinyl isn't all that critical. I think probably 90% of the clothing in that house will get thrown out. A lot of it is threadbare and just, do I need 400 t-shirts? So, yeah, let me look at my cheat sheet again. We were talking about, I was talking about, you were listening. I was talking about, the experiences I've had on the road. Interesting. And some of those experiences are, and again, those motorcycle traveling. So I've lived on a very minimalist for weeks at a time. And in fact, that last trip I took was a while back. And as I said to a friend the other day, it's probably the happiest I've been in a long time, was just out there on the road, making day-to-day decisions, just taking it all in and, enjoying being alive. I'm sitting here in a house that I owe a mortgage on, which is now under I've been given a 6-month grace period because the economy is so bad and my jobs fell apart. I recently ran a small sound company doing PA work for festivals, small recording jobs, that kind of thing. And those jobs no longer exist. They're not there. And so part of the sale process is getting rid of all that hardware. Life in an RV is going to be luxurious compared to living on the road off a motorcycle. Just being able to get up, walk out back, and take a pee will be major compared to what has to happen in a motorcycle with the motorcycle, the riding suit, etc. I've got a lot of work to do. I don't know how long this has gone on so far. Can I see the time from here? 13 minutes. So I'm aiming for a 25-foot Class 8 motorhome, and I'm going to mount a small displacement motorcycle off the back end of it. That'll give me my car. In looking at models out there, if I can find something similar to a Fleetwood Flair 25Y, that's my goal. They're all over the country, but unfortunately some of them are out in Washington State, which would make an interesting, I don't know how that would work yet, but I don't know, have to know how. Don't make decisions if you don't have to. So next week my realtor gets back from vacation, and what I've learned in the last couple of weeks is that the market for houses in Maine has gone through the roof. Apparently, hot ticket up here. So where I was thinking that it would, I'd get into an RV, have a basic emergency fund, and then creep to next June when I can file for Social Security, is no longer looking to be quite that way. It looks like that I will be able to get more. There'd be more equity in the house when I sell it than I thought there would, and that means that it will make this process easier. Whether it's that I can get a better quality used RV. My goal has been, well, what I expect to spend on a rig is 14,000. I might get one for as low as 8 to 9,000, but even still, at 14,000, I expect to have to spend money on tires, alternator or mechanical engine parts, a generator, the refrigerator, the air conditioner, leaks in the roof. There might be any number of things that are going to take additional money to get into it. And then there's the stuff that I'm just going to have to hit the road. The GPS, the water hoses, the backup camera if it works, maybe a security system of some sort, a good national cell phone plan. Right now I'm working without a cell phone. So a national cell phone plan, the travel insurance. It just goes on. I'm not telling a lot of you much that you don't know. So I love to plan. I really, really enjoy planning. And I've had people say, "Well, you're so anal. You plan everything." I said, "Well, no, it's not. It's not that I'm planning to have so that if I'm going to go from here to Boston, say, it's a 3.5 hour drive. Okay, well, 3.5 hours on the highway. That's going to be, at an average of 50 miles an hour. How long is it going to take me? I'm going to get gas mileage. Where am I going to stop? Where's my gas stop? Where's my rest stop? Where am I going to park in Boston? What am I going to do once I'm there, and how am I going to get there?" Then, once I get to Boston, I can relax because I've already researched everything I need to know. I know how to get to, the red line is it's 3 blocks down from where I'm going to park, and, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing. Hope my battery lasts. The camera I've got the screen turned around facing me, but it keeps flipping back from an upside down to right side up image, so I don't know how this is coming out. So I love to plan, but I do that so that when I get to where I'm going, I can relax. As odd as it may seem, I've taken several cruises in my life. I don't think I'll ever take another one because there's so much money. But I loved researching the ports and the ship and everything, so that when I went on the trip, it was like I'd already gone before, and I knew what to expect. I knew what the better opportunities were. So that's the way I look at what I'm doing now. Is oh boy, is there a lot of planning between now and shove off. But then once I shove off, there's the planning of, okay, where do I want to go? And that question is wide open within the North American continent, pretty much. I got to renew my passport. That expired years ago. But that shouldn't be a big deal. I noticed yesterday that my driver's license expired on my birthday a month ago, so got to renew that. But in days of COVID-19, yeah, you can't see it, but the license plate on this van expired a few months ago too. So that's another thing, that's there. So one of my so I like to plan, but I also like to be prepared. Before my motorcycle trips, I had both the cycles stripped down, added wiring, doing mechanical work. I can get my hands dirty. I'm capable of repairing those kinds of things to a point. But I'm also, over 60 at this point, and not necessarily looking to strain myself in mechanical endeavors. But the more money I don't have, the more of that work I'm going to do myself. One of my plans is to work with the National Park System and be a park host. Now, whether or a volunteer, let's say, and the 3-month stints would allow me to not have to pay rent, would be collecting Social Security and having that go into a bank. So my initial plan for the first few years is to see what kind of national park work I could get, where I'm working in a park for 3 to 6 months of the year, and I'm traveling the other 6 to 9 months of the year, depending on how that works. And everything else. I have a couple of applications already started for a couple of places I want to go. and I think that'll work. I'm almost, I also owned a computer store and an internet provider, so and then I had a divorce. Um, and so I've got good computer skills and graphic artist skills, movie making skills. So I've got a bunch of skill sets that also could be useful for the parks, and would get me in the door. Um, I've put together a plan and a budget. I won't go over it here because it's all very loose and thrown up there, and it's kind of tossed up on the wall. Okay, well, buying the RV, it's got a budget $600 for two $300 inspections. That's just a number. It could be $900 worth of inspections by the time we're done. And yeah, I've learned a ton from this community. I've been through this process before. I've done the same thing with touring on my motorcycle. At some point, I'll throw up a picture log of that so everybody can see it, because there's hundreds of pics from those, and they're nice. But this is going to be the first time I'm going to video it, and my most recent job was actually working with video at a public access station. So I gained a heck of a lot more experience there on the editing process, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to making these videos, putting them up on YouTube, and seeing where all that goes. There are some simple things that you learn when you're. I mean, you get some wisdom as you grow in your life, but you need to be sometimes told that there are things you should do and not do. And some of the things that I picked up are like, you always have a home base. Yes, sir, officer. I'm just out on the road temporarily. I have a home base. Thank you, and have a nice day yourself. Have an exact destination in mind. Oh yes, well, I woke up this morning here and I'm headed there. Exactly this address. See, I've got it right here and it's in the GPS. Never have fruits, veggies, or anything else crossing a border. Just don't. just, and planning. If I know I'm going to cross into Canada, and then I'm there and I'm going to cross back, I'm going to plan for those two events and just get rid of any of the fruits, the vegetables, or anything else that I might be carrying that somebody doesn't want me to have when I'm crossing a border. Weigh your damn RV and shed what you can't carry. Get rid of things that are heavy that you don't need. Bring a dog. Bring a dog. A dog does a lot of things. When a police officer sees a big old German Shepherd in your vehicle, they don't come as close. And then they also kind of let you get away with only cracking your window, because, your dog could be very vicious, and you want to make sure that the officer doesn't get in any way threatened by your dog. Daisy loves people. Good God, she just like a golden retriever, just lean on you because they love you so much. That's her. Even though she's a long-haired German Shepherd crossed with a Chow, she's super friendly. But don't tell anybody. Have a plan for everything. Somebody knocks on your door in the middle of the night. You get pulled over by a policeman. Somebody sketchy is now approaching you. Noises in the middle of the night. Have self-defense stuff. Have some sort of security system. Motion-sensitive lights. There's a bunch of things that you can do to make sure you're safe. But you also need modifications for your lifestyle. You need medicines, plans, proper food, backup water, backup fuel. A tire repair kit, some way to jack up the vehicle other than the standard jack. All these little things that need to be there. So yeah, yesterday I started listing stuff on the local for sale services on Facebook, etc. I got a blender, and I'm selling an old Valentine 1 radar detector. My beautiful Garmin 7200 GPS, this nice big screen GPS, useless. They dropped the maps on it years ago, and driving a big RV, I'm going to have a new GPS. So I'm selling the old GPS. I've got a shed out back with an old Saab in it, and a collection of Saab parts. I've got just a house full of stuff, furniture, I put aside a tote for things that are going to end up in the van, in the RV. There's a small hatchet in there that I think of that's going in there. A set of binoculars. There are certain individual things that will be going in the van, and so having that tote there is like, okay, place to put shit that doesn't have to go anywhere else. So yeah, flip the switch, turn it on. Trying to come, Daisy, come here, come, Daisy, come. Trying to think of a name for the channel. You know, come here, come on. Why are you limping today? Why are you limping? So trying to think of a name for the channel, so that I can put out a video, but that'll come in time. You know, those are the kind of things that you let them happen as they happen, and that way, you know, it just is more natural. You know. If you try to force things, they oftentimes just they push back and they don't work. So anyway, so there it is. My first video, non-stop. I didn't make too many screw-ups. And there she goes back to her spot. So yeah, we'll see you next time, and yeah, we'll see you next time. I don't know. I don't know when I'll update, but again, you may not even see this video for months. You might see it next week. I don't know. But I suppose my next update will be all about, you know what, the next big step is, what does the realtor think I can sell my house for? See you next time.